Today, we're blessed to have Oba William King speak. And if you don't know him, Oba is the director of Justice Starts Educational Entertainment. He develops performances, workshops, and special events to fit the schedule of what he calls the cultural calendar. From Martin Luther King Day in January to Kwanzaa in December, the Justice Starts Ensemble presents live, virtual, pre-recorded performances, hands-on workshops, and short-term artist residences throughout the U.S.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Y'all clap your hands to this rhythm.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'll let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Even in my home, I'm gonna let it shine.
What?
Even in my home, I'm gonna let it shine. Even in my home, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, 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 let it shine.
One more time, one more time.
Let it shine. Let it shine.
Yeah.
Let it shine.
Amen. That feels good. Good morning. Good morning,
Oba.
Harmony Spiritual Center. I am so happy and blessed to be here. Thank you all for welcoming me. Thank you all for providing an opportunity for me to share the gift that I feel is the light within me. And with that light, I hope to encourage everyone who's listening, even those who are watching at home, those who are attending Bedside Baptist Church, those of you who are tuning in and feeling the spirit of this wonderful place. I tell my friends about this place. When I get to travel around as a storyteller, one of the most important things that I could do is travel from different parts of the city across America. And right there, since the last time I saw you, just about in the last few days of May, about the 28th of May, I started up the vehicle and made my way cross country to Chicago, Illinois, driving through Arkansas, going around that little tip of Tennessee, up into Missouri, and into Illinois. Right around that period of time, at the end of May, that first week of June, it's probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's outside, just outside. And you get to encounter other people when you are outside, because you got to stop and get gas. Well, that's one thing you have to do, and the restroom, and food. You're going to stop and eat food. I mean, it's just random stops along the way, and you encounter other people, other human beings, and you get to exchange just a moment in time. Sometimes my friends ask, well, how is it that you can go there, and you can go there, and you can go to this place and that place, and you leave your home, and nobody breaks into it? You drive up into towns that you don't know and nobody got you? You're a small dude. I used to be a small dude. I'm getting a little bit larger. It just happens with time, I reckon. Yeah, well, apparently. How do you do that? I think it's the light. When we are walking in our light, finding that gift that we have within us, spending our time to hone that gift, and share that gift. It allows doors to open. It allows us to go places that we've never been before. We might not know a single soul who is in that place. But when you lead with your gift, they say that the eyes are the window to the soul. And if we have the light within us, God is that light. And we can call God by the name that you choose to call the great creator, whatever great spiritual being that you feel is above you, that you feel is above all, and that you take the time to give honor to, give thanks to, open the door of your heart to let in and share with others. When that spirit is within us, then that light is within us. If that light is within us, it's seen through our eyes. The eyes being the window to the soul. Now, if you've got a whole lot of problems going on in your life, in your mind, if you don't have good intentions for one another, if you're trying to hurt folk, those who are blessed to walk in the light will be shielded against you, because you can see that mess coming. And sometimes even when you don't see the mess coming, you just all of a sudden, you go in a different direction, have no idea why Spirit led me to go that way instead of that way. Then you come to find out by reading in the newspaper, seeing someone else calls you on the phone. You know what happened on this street at that time? You realize I was just over there. Spirit protected me. That light will protect us. Sometimes we have an opportunity to read in the great book, the basic instructions before leaving this earth. And when we get a chance to look at Scripture, we can find the words that were spoken. I want to find a piece that comes from Matthew. I think it's Matthew 5:16. I believe that it says, and somebody correct me, someone's going to find it. Those of you at home, you got a minute, get your Bible and look. Make sure I'm remembering what I'm remembering in the right way. Because you know you start to remember things that you know differently. The light that shines within you is Spirit, it's God. That light within you is to be shared with others. This light is given to you in order to share with others. And if we share our light, like the little song says, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. There used to be one of the songs that was within the gift of the Negro spiritual, a song that was sang that had a code to it, a song that was saying that talked about the places where you can go and be safe. There's a period of time that you decide that you're not going to stay where you were anymore, and you light out in the darkness of night. People say follow the drinking gourd, which was that North Star. That star that's cast right off the tail of the Big Dipper, and that would lead you north. But sometimes you're in a place where the canopy of trees above you is so thick, you can't quite see the stars. You have to make your way through those woods, maybe feeling on the side of the tree where the moss grows on the north side of the tree, and you can continue forward if you know those things. And you get to a space and a place where you see homes in the distance. And you know you need shelter, food, clothing, warmth. You want to gather with others so that you're not walking alone. And you see that little light in the window, that little flicker of flame, that candlelight says that place is safe. I can go there. I can meet others. I can share a meal. I can get warm. I can get free. There's a piece of poetry that comes from a woman named Marianne Wilson. This piece of poetry was made more well known by Nelson Mandela. It talks about the fear that's within us. It says that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Our deepest fear, it is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. It is our light that we try to hide. I mean, your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine brightly as children do. It's not just in some of us. This is in all of us. This gift of the light that is within us all is ours to share. And when we share, when we shine our brightest, we subconsciously give those around us permission to shine as well. You open the door for others to do great. If you walk in and try to, I don't want to be the one that shines. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to get the best grade. I don't want to be the one that is standing in front and leading the others. I just want to keep my head down. I just want to make it. I don't want anybody looking at me. You're not helping nobody. Certainly not yourself. You're scrunching out your own light, the gift that we have. We should take our gift, and if we can take our gift and shine and share it with others, then we are doing the work that the Creator intended for us to do. Why would we be here if we did not have something to provide to help make the world a better place? We all have our part to play. The encouragement comes from within. We shine as brightly as we can. We do our best so that we have peace over chaos, hope over despair, joy over sorrow. And we glean from each other. There's things that the others around us have that are bright, shiny, and beautiful. And it's okay to compliment that, to encourage that, to uplift that. It shows your confidence, well, especially with men, with us. Oh, my goodness gracious. If we can just compliment one another in a positive way, embrace one another, and not always see each other as a foe or a competitor or someone who's trying to take us down a peg, so I'm going to take you down first. No. We look for ways that we can enlighten the young ones. So we have to walk as though we know our gift, and we walk in the light so that we can share our light, share our brilliance with one another. During the course of time that I was looking for the work, putting together the idea of story and lecture and general talk and self-expression, just to share my thoughts. And in no way, now there's 2-3 times I was like writing and it continued to come in my ear. You are in no way a preacher. You need to tell people that you know you're not a preacher, you're not trying to be a preacher, that you don't expect them to jump up and down and shout, because that's not what it's all about. Your left foot in and your right foot out, you know. But along the way, I went to the device on the computer and I opened up a very positive note from a person that I'd never met before, who was saying, that they were inspired by some work that I had done. And I've been thinking that after I see all of these notices about them liking my material or in some way making comments or sharing, but you start to think, oh no, this must be somebody who I've met before, but I don't remember them. And you don't want to be that guy. So I asked that, have I met you before? Or where was it that we met? You have to go ahead and be honest and say, look, I'm 66 years old. Some of this is this is new to me. The fact that I can't just look in your face and call your name. You have to stop a little while, take a pause. But the person responded, said, I saw your work at a workshop, and I was inspired by that. That put me on top of the world. I was so happy. This person, Dr. Harris. I then, ventured into Dr. Harris's material. Oh, what kind of workshop were you attending that my work was being used? And I found this piece of material within her wealth of material that she's created over the years. She told me that this is a piece of what she found to use for her doctorate as a homework assignment. And I said, I think I have to share this. And of course, David asked me to come. I said, this is the whole reason that I found this. This is the whole reason. And then David said, we need to have a name for your presentation. I said, walk in your light. We're going to share this from Dr. Harris, True Media, here on the internet. Please.
Voice in the darkness, a star there to guide us when we lose our way. Faith, even when we are fallen into the fire, consumed by the flame, will rise from the ashes only by faith. Faith, a promise unbroken, the power that guides us when we believe. Faith, even when we are fallen into the fire, consumed by the flame, will rise from the ashes only by faith.
By faith. By faith. It put me in the mind of during the time that we were children at Bishop Bomar's church, Lighthouse Full Gospel, and how the choir would sing, "We've come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, trusting in His holy word. He's never failed me yet." It gives us a foundation to understand that everything that is within us is put there by that spiritual power, and if we could just hone it, if we can share it, if we can light it. Dr. Harris lives in Florida. I want to say thank you for allowing me to share your material with those who are here and present. And I want you to know that it's just out there in the internet. And by just Googling her name, Dr. Kim Harris, and maybe putting by faith or something like that, it'll send you to it. Because I just was moved by it. And then in seeing the representation that she used, put me in the mind of material from Ntozake Shange, who wrote a wonderful choreo poem known as "For Colored Girls Who Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Was Enough." And from there is a piece that adapted, it speaks dark phases of childhood, of never having been a kid. Half notes scattered without rhythm and no tune, distraught laughter falling over the young one's shoulders. It's funny, hysterical, the melodylessness of our dance. But don't tell nobody, don't tell a soul, we are dancing on beer cans and shingles. This must be the Spook House. Another song with no singers, lyrics and no voices, interrupted solos, unseen performances. Are we ghouls? Children of horror? The joke? Are we animals? Have we gone crazy? I can't hear anything but maddening screams and soft strains of death. Promise me. Just promise me, somebody. Anybody, sing the young ones' songs and bring them out to know you, to know themselves. Sing their songs of life, their songs of love, their songs of happiness. Sing them songs like a righteous gospel, the making of a melody, and let us be born. We've been dead so long, closed in silence so long, we don't know the sound of our own voice, our infinite beauty. We are half notes scattered without rhythm and no tune. Sing a song of life, the making of a melody. Let us be born. Let us be born, reborn, and handled warmly. To walk in your light is a beautiful, simple turn of the semantic when I said to David, walk in your light, and David passed it on, and the next time I saw it, said, walk in the light. And I had to ponder that, the difference. It just comes common to us because we know that the Creator is the light. My encouragement is to walk in your light. The light of the Creator is within us, but if you walk in your light, then you are, what do we call that? Multiplying the power of that light, and then it's just all around you. And people say, oh, I can see your aura. You just shine so brightly. And that makes me smile when that happens. In closing, I'd like to share with you from the mentor that helped me learn the process of sharing stories, of being a teller of stories, a griot, a folk talesman, I call Mr. Oscar Brown Jr. And now I've landed on this beach it takes 60-odd years to reach, as this generation of mine is ordered onto life's front line, the targets of a fuselage which forces us to think of God. Reluctantly, we storm this beach, advancing to fill up the breach created by the fallen core of elders who charged here before, while we enjoyed our middle age. Removed from fire, we now engage. A withering barrage rakes this beach. Its bullets bear the name of each of those who set foot on these sands. Old General Calendar commands, advancing to assure defeat without the option to retreat. We knew before we hit this beach the enemy that we besiege has ammunition for us all, who as casualties must fall. Not one will manage to survive. Nobody leaves this beach alive. For those arriving on this beach, there is no prayer to pray nor preach to beg us off in any tongue, since we have outlived dying young. And for surviving in exchange, we now face the fire at point blank range. The witness we bear upon this beach has only one lesson to teach. Here, the carnage never stops, as every day another drops, some classmate, some relative, or friend whose attack comes to abrupt end. So now, on into the beach. On into this breach, my peers, for who knows how many weeks or years remain till you and I are hit, as we inch onward bit by bit. We only know our lives will bleach eternally out on this beach. While we are here, my friends, shine your light as brightly as you can. Don't worry about the illumination flickering out too soon, because you're going to be here as long as Creator decided that you should take your walk. So while here, brighten everything you can. Use up all the energy you have. Finding your gift, honing your gift, and sharing your gift. Walk in your light. Thank you so much.